Let's enter a bygone era where danger and gloom ruled supreme. Coelophysis, a ruthless predator from the beginning of time, appears from the darkness of the past. This stealthy hunter instills fear in the hearts of all who watch its deadly grace with razor-sharp teeth and fast speed. As we reveal the terrifying tale of Coelophysis, a creature that personifies the innate fear of a lost world, prepare to be terrified. The length of the large predator, Coelophysis, was estimated to be about 9 feet. This spans the entire body from the animal's snout to the tip of its tail. Coelophysis was around 3 feet tall while standing on its hind limbs. This measurement provides a general notion of the animal's height when standing straight up. The flexible spine of Coelophysis was made up of many vertebrae. The vertebral column offered stability and flexibility, enabling the dinosaur to move swiftly and deftly. Its overall length was aided by the longer and more numerous vertebrae near the tail. Coelophysis' ribs shielded its critical organs. The vertebrae and ribs formed a structure that covered and protected the dinosaur's chest chamber. The long, slender, and light bones of Coelophysis included the femur, the thigh bone, tibia, the shin bone, and fibula, the smaller lower leg bone. Its excellent mobility as a result of these modifications allowed it to hunt quickly. Coelophysis had a long, narrow skull that tapered to a point at the snout. Its agility and the ability to move quickly across its environment were probably assisted by this structure's streamlined design. Large eye sockets on Coelophysis were positioned at the front of its head, indicating binocular vision. This configuration suggests that it had good depth perception, enabling it to gauge distances precisely and aim its victims. Coelophysis had a large number of pointed serrated teeth in its cranium. These teeth allowed Coelophysis to rip flesh from its prey since they were well suited for a carnivorous diet. Conical teeth in the front and larger blade-like teeth in the back of the jaw made for an efficient arrangement for gripping and slicing through prey. Coelophysis possessed a strong jaw shape that allowed for powerful biting. It had strong jaw muscles and teeth that interlocked when the mouth closed, giving it an effective hold on prey items. This tooth configuration suggests that Coelophysis could successfully cling on to escaping prey. 2 nasal apertures were present in Coelophysis, which was on the top of the skull. These holes permitted the inhalation of air and the use of the sense of smell, both of which were probably essential for locating possible prey and identifying its surroundings. Bony ridges or crests can be seen on the skulls of some Coelophysis specimens. The employment of these cranial crests for visual display or species identification suggests that they may have been utilized to indicate sexual dimorphism or social behavior within the species. Coelophysis' limbs were essential to its mobility, agility, and capacity for hunting. The forelimbs of Coelophysis were fully grown and comprised of a number of bones, including the hand bones, radius, ulna, and humerus, the upper arm bone. Compared to the rear limbs, the forelimbs were much shorter. 3 clawed fingers on each hand allowed for the gripping and control of prey as well as climbing. Coelophysis had movable joints in its limbs that allowed for a variety of motions. Coelophysis had flexible joints, such as those in the shoulder and hip, which let it move with speed and agility, which was necessary for hunting and avoiding predators. Sharp claws were seen on the forelimbs and hind limbs of Coelophysis. The claws had a curved shape and probably had several uses. They might have helped the animal's hind limbs grip the ground while racing or climbing, while the forelimbs may have been employed to catch and hold on to prey. Coelophysis' limb modifications, which combined strength, flexibility, and claws, allowed the dinosaur to be a swift and effective predator. The hind limbs provided the essential propulsion for fast pursuits, while the forelimbs were adaptable tools for grabbing and controlling prey. Coelophysis was a formidable hunter in its time thanks to these limbs. Coelophysis probably had scales covering its body like the majority of dinosaurs and reptiles did. These scales functioned as a protection for the skin, protecting it from the elements and any harm. Coelophysis' scales were probably made of osteoderms, which are overlapping bony plates. Osteoderms give the skin an additional layer of defense and stiffness. Distinct areas of its body may have had distinct size arrangements and textures. Coelophysis had a tail that was comparatively lengthy for its size. It was made up of a chain of interconnected vertebrae that grew smaller towards the tip. Although the tail's precise length varied from individual to individual, it made up a sizable amount of the animal's overall body length. The extremely flexible tail of Coelophysis allowed for swift and accurate motions. The joints that joined the vertebrae in the tail's vertebral column allowed for easy bending and twisting. This adaptability was essential for preserving balance and maneuverability during frantic pursuits and abrupt changes in course. The dinosaur's tail served as a counterweight to the rest of its body. Coelophysis' tail would change position as it moved to preserve stability and keep the dinosaur from toppling over or losing its equilibrium. This trait was crucial when pursuing prey or avoiding predators, since it allowed for quick movements and sharp rotations. Approximately a few million years ago, during the late Triassic period, Coelophysis lived in a variety of settings. Coelophysis may have lived in what is now North America, according to fossil data. The southwestern region of the United States, which includes sections of Arizona and New Mexico, has seen the majority of fossil discoveries. Although there were variations in the climate during the late Triassic period, it was often warm and dry. Seasonal temperature variations would have occurred in Coelophysis, with hot, dry summers and milder winters. The late Triassic was characterized by a variety of conifers, cycads, ferns, and horsetails. These different flora types offered Coelophysis a wide variety of food supplies, such as leaves, seeds, and fruits, which may have affected the availability of herbivorous prey. In the late Triassic, Coelophysis coexisted alongside a wide variety of species. These featured early mammals, different reptiles, amphibians, and other dinosaurs like Dilophosaurus. The opportunity for Coelophysis to hunt and eat would have been determined by the existence of various prey animals. In its ecology, Coelophysis was an apex predator that sat at the top of the food chain. It was ideally suited for capturing and devouring other animals thanks to its incisor-tipped teeth, strong jaws, and nimble frame. Coelophysis' main food sources were probably the small to medium-sized animals that lived in its surroundings. Reptiles, amphibians, smaller dinosaurs, early mammals, and perhaps insects could have been among them. Coelophysis would have hunted down and consumed any suitable prey it could catch. Coelophysis probably used a variety of hunting techniques to catch its prey. It might have chased after smaller creatures using its speed and agility, depending on its razor-sharp fangs and jaws to deliver lethal bites. It's possible that Coelophysis also used stealth and ambush strategies, tracking and shocking its prey before striking quickly. Coelophysis probably participated in some type of sexual reproduction. They may have used a polygynous mating system in which dominant males would mate with several females within their region or social group, according to a credible theory. Similar to contemporary reptiles, female Coelophysis would have laid a clutch of eggs. Uncertainty exists over the quantity of eggs in a clutch. However, it may have ranged from a handful to a dozen or more. The eggs were probably small and protected by a tough, calcified shell. Coelophysis was a dinosaur that existed in the late Triassic epoch and, like many others, eventually faced extinction. During the late Triassic, the climate of the Earth underwent a tremendous transformation. The idea that plants and habitats altered as the climate grew progressively drier and more desert-like is supported by evidence. These environmental changes may have upset the ecosystem's balance and affected Coelophysis' access to food sources. There were large volcanic occurrences in the late Triassic, notably the eruption of the Central Atlantic Magmatic Province. Coelophysis and its habitat may have suffered as a result of the global climate shifts and environmental disruptions caused by volcanic activity, which can release significant amounts of greenhouse gases and aerosols into the atmosphere. So this was all about Coelophysis. If you want to get more such updates, hit the bell icon and subscribe to this channel. Also, let us know in the comment section how you find it. By knowing about unique species, we get an idea of how the world, climate, and wilderness was in historic times. We get to know about several new concepts we never knew ever existed. Do you know about a unique creature named cynodonts that lived in ancient times? Click the video on your screen to know more about it.